Welcome, folks, to another GameHorder production. I am proud to present to thee Pillars of Eternity. Let that sink in a moment, folks. The GameHorder is starting Pillars of Eternity. It's been a long time in the coming. I was an original backer for this game on Kickstarter. Donated 250 of my hard-earned dollars for a signed physical copy from all the creators. And also was a high tier backer for Pillars of Eternity 2. I have more or less never played this game. We're going to play it on normal, as we normally do, without all the craziness this time. Maybe if I become addicted enough and get advanced enough of this game as some of you, we'll do another run down the road. Let's enjoy the intro.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Alright, good old character creation. This video is going to be labeled number 0. This is just the intro and character creation overview. The reason I'm not actually starting is because I'm going to give all of you a chance to put your 2 cents in on which of our 2 classic / infamous / obnoxious characters / personas that we want to take on this particular adventure as the leader. I think we know which 2 I'm talking about. So let's kind of do an overview anyways for myself, being someone that's never played through the game. I'm going to make this as much of an in-depth let's play as possible. All the Easter eggs, all the secrets, all the side quests. Take my time, read the books, good old classic GameHorder. Think back, Planescape Torment style. I'll be able to do some voice acting. This isn't 100% voiced, although they did a fantastic job from what I've seen so far and the little that I've played so far. Let's start off with sex. We're not going to play a female, obviously. A woman's role in Auruama is largely dependent on where she is from. In the Adir Empire, Vylian republics, and the Durwood, women occupy many domestic, educational, and organizational roles. They are the primary hunters, soldiers, and leaders of the tribes of Nastika. In Ir-Glanfath and in Zaxmitil, women and men have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rules, and women can be found in a wide variety of stations and professions. Now, obviously, I'm going to butcher the shit out of a lot of these names. I am not a linguist, and I am also American, and we have the worst fucking dialects ever when it comes to trying to pronounce foreigner words, things like that. Or I should say Eastern European or whatever. Anything outside of America, we suck at pronouncing. We're not given any kind of linguistics class, and our particular language in itself doesn't vibe with any of the Latin languages or anything like that. So I do apologize. Now I will try my best as being someone who's read fantasy his entire life. But yeah, feel free to correct me, and I'll try to correct myself as we go. I'm also not familiar with his lore, so as I hear the computer or the AI or whatever, the game, speak it, that will also help me. Males, the place of men in society varies from culture to culture. Cultures like Adir and the Deerwood place them at the forefront of military, politics, and heavy labor. Among the tribes of the Nastek, men perform many of the homesteading and organizational duties. In Ir-Glanfath and Exmetil, men and women have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rule, and men can be found in a wide variety of stations and professions. So this is a very equality type game. That's what we're getting at here. Probably a good idea, considering when this was made. Just to touch back really quick on the Kickstarter, the game initially raised $3,986,929 with 73,986 backers. I was one of those backers, and at my tier, I got the collector edition box signed by Chris Avalon, Tim Kane, and Josh Scheuer. The rest of the development team, and a full-color printed collector book, an elite version of a Project Eternity, which is now Pillars of Eternity. It was called Project Eternity originally. Cloth patch. Got a full-color book that includes the concept art, player's handbook, monster manual, exclusive information about the campaign setting and characters. I think I can dig up the PDFs that they sent of these. Actually, I see them right there in my DLC. And we can kind of go over those as a side video as well, if there's interest in that. My main interest in this video is whether or not you guys want to see Lug or Ron Stock lead this adventure. Whoever we pick for this adventure, the counterpart will take place in Pillars of Eternity 2. Unless there's some kind of transfer character system that I didn't know about. Again, my knowledge on this game is very, very, very low. I followed it during the campaign, and I followed the second one that took place on Fig. And but this will be my first time diving in and making it past 15 minutes. I played the very first intro where you're running around the camp, shit like that. So we'll go male. I am just going to, I'm not going to actually create anyone. We're just going to decide what will probably be the best race and class for each of the two. When I originally made it, I believe this was my Lug pick, because they are obviously the big barbaric type race, or the might race, you can see here. But let's go through the different races. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common race in Deerwood and the Adir Empire. Old Valia and the Valayan republics, though not as large as towering Auruama, humans are known for their strength and willpower. The Auruama, probably butchering that. The mighty Auruama are largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. Lug don't like water. Didn't you watch Dark Sun? Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many other civilizations such as Rotai are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. If you guys have better suggestions on a racing class than I'm thinking, feel free. I'm going to take whoever gets the most votes for that racing class, and feel free to thumbs up, like, +1, this with the little up arrow, whatever you want to do to upvote people's comments. And I'll do my best to derive what the winning character, class, and race will be. Luglug's also been a dwarf, so that's a possibility. By virtue of land covered, a number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They're commonly found in the... I want to say drywood, but the Y and R are reversed, so it's making me say deerwood. In the Valayan republics, Valayan, and almost any colonized land, dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. Elves. I'm thinking Luglug could be any of these first three, and Ronstock would fall under these last three. Godlike seems to be an obvious go-to pick for if we chose Ronstock. I mean, just the flaming sorcerer type head there that looks like a demon. I'm obviously gravitated toward that as a mage. But again, I'm going to let you guys pick. And also keep in mind, this is my first Pillars of Eternity experience, so if you think I'd be better off with a fighter class, which I'm so attuned to already, then maybe we should start with Luglug, so I can get some skill in the game. But I am more than willing and more than happy to start with a mage character and figure it out. Elves are the dominant race in Irgonfath, and the white that wins, and are extremely common in the Deerwood and Nadir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist nature. Typical elf persona. The Orlan, these are kind of like tree folk spirit kind of things they look like. I like the hairdo. Orlans are the smallest of the Kith races. Though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all, also notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and hirsute bodies. Orlans are commonly found in Irgonfath, the Exmetil Plains, and parts of the Deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. They seem like these make the good rogue-type characters. Last but not least, we have the godlike. Children of the Kith, civilized races who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take form and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. I'd say that most certainly would be a good mage character. So you can choose different types of folk. The Meadow Folk are the most common humans in Deerwood. The Meadow Folk, or Thertan, have lived in that area for almost 2,000 years. Meadow Folk traditionally live at the edge of elven forest, working in the open plains, hence their name. Most humans in the Deerwood are Thertan. Fighting Spirit. This is a specialist ability that they're going to get. Once per encounter, 5 seconds after being reduced below 50% endurance, folk temporarily gain bonuses to accuracy and damage. Ocean Folk, the Kalbandra, originated near the equator on the other side of the globe and are currently the most widespread human group in the region. But they also have migrated to far reaches of the world. Ocean Folks are a dominant culture in the Valayan republics and are also common in the Deerwood. They also get Fighting Spirit. Savannah Folk, or the Natlan, come originally just south of the equator, and with the exception of some groups that migrated north, have remained in the same location over 10,000 years. The name Natlan literally means original. While quite common in Reedsaris, Savannah Folk are not usually seen in the Deerwood and the Valayan republics. So humans start with this Fighting Spirit. 5 seconds after being reduced below 50% endurance, folk temporarily gain bonus to accuracy and damage. They got that last barrage of energy. For the Auruama, we got coastal and island. Viewed as a warlike race, the coastal Auruama live in mainland region along the coast of the northern hemisphere. Lands they conquered by pushing Thartan, Meadow Folk, and Natlan, Savannah Folk, and Orla communities out. Their culture is more centralized and urban than their island cousins, though both groups are involved in seafaring. Coastal Auruama are very rare in the Dyrwood, but those that do make their journey usually do so as mercenaries, bodyguards, or soldiers. We get the towering physique. Coastal Auruama gain bonuses to defend against prone and stun effects. Still sounding like a good pick for Luglug. Okay. Island Auruama originated in the Deadfire Archipelago. Archipelago. Yeah, I haven't said that word in a while. Alright, Deadfire Archipelago, 1,000 miles south of the Valayan Republics. While psychologically similar to their coastal cousins, the coloration of the island Auruama is starkly different. Brown and yellow, contrasting the coastal's blues and greens. Though still uncommon in the Dyrwood and surrounding environments, island Auruama are more commonly encountered there than coastal Auruama, who are quite rare. When encountered around the Dyrwood, they are often laborers, fishermen, or sailors. And they all are armed to the teeth and get an additional weapon set. That would probably be my initial pick for Luglug. You guys tell me what you think. A male island Auruama barbarian. But we have dwarves. Mountain dwarves. Aptapo. Originated on the continent to the east of the Dyrwood and have spread through the area several times. Unlike the similarly diminutive Orlans, who are frequently subjugated, the Aptapo have always directly fought back threats posed by larger kith and opted to fortify their residence rather than move on. Mountain dwarves are common in the Valayan republics, but not seen as often in the Dyrwood and Red Saris. They are hale and hardy. Mountain dwarves have a bonus to defend against poison and disease. The Boreal Dwarf live in the remote southern island of Nastek, where they share the rocky tundra and snow-covered forests with migratory pale elves and the coast-hugging ships of Auruama. Like their northern cousins, Anutanik, share an instinctive love of exploration. Boreal dwarves are somewhat common in the Valayan Republic, but seldom encountered in the Dyrwood. These are the hunters. They gain 15 accuracy against any creature of wilder primordial types. Probably going to make a good ranger. Maybe a mountain dwarf barbarian could be a possible Luglug. If you guys are tired of seeing those two characters, we can go with a completely new character as well. You guys pick. You decide. We have Wood Elves and Pale Elves. Wood Elves, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Scale Folk trace their beginnings far north of present-day Adir. And they've migrated south throughout the forest of the continent, now covering it all the way south across the equator. They're also believed to have migrated across the sea to Irglanfath. While psychologically identical to one another, Wood Elves from Adir are culturally different from those of Irglanfath and consider themselves wholly different groups. They have distant advantage. Any enemy that is more than 4 meters away, we gain bonus deflection and reflex. Pale Elves. It is unclear exactly how long ago Pale Elves, the Glamfellan, came to the southern polar regions of the world, but they have lived there for at least 12,000 years based on the continuous contact with the Auruama traders. They appear to be among the most stationary ethnic groups in the known world, migrating within the polar region but seldom venturing far north. They are rare in all the northern lands, and most people consider them exotic, if they have seen one at all. All Pale Elves have increased burn, freeze, damage reductions. Possible mage for Ronstock. The Orlan have Hearth Orlans, who are often found as slaves in the Red Saris and the Valayan Republics. One of the treaty terms between Dyrwood and the people of Irglanfath was the liberation of Orlan slaves, and while this has been honored, many Earth Orlans continue to live in Dyrwood as indentured servants. They have minor threat. When attacking any creature that is also being targeted by a teammate, Earth Orlans convert some of their hits into crits. Again, seems like a good rogue race. Wild Orlans are the original Orlans who live in the deepest forest and jungles between the tropics. While they only have been significantly separated from Earth Orlans for 1,000 years, a few genetic differences have appeared rapidly, most notably a lack of facial hair in the Earth Orlan branch. Wild Orlans are common in the deep reaches of Irglan Fath. Unlike their Earth Orlan brethren, they are not often seen in the Dyrwood, Redseris, or the Vilian republics. They have defiant resolve. After being subjected to a will attack, Wild Orlans temporarily gain a bonus to all defenses. And out of the godlike, we have Death, Fire, Moon, and Nature. Nature godlike appear to be a fusion of human and animal features, often covered by plants, moss, or fungi. This has led to the common stigma that they are diseased, and many are killed at birth because of it. Many druidic orders are keen interest in nature godlikes because of their general curiosity as to how souls occupy animals, plants, and stones. They have Wellspring of Life, which grants a bonus to might, constitution, and dexterity when endurance is below 50%. The moon godlike are the most tolerated of the godlike. While their skin tone and large moon-like growth on their foreheads may be strange to some, their appearance are generally considered more palatable by other kith. Sailors have many beliefs about moon godlike and their propensity to bring luck, though there is little agreement as to what kind of luck they tend to bring. They have the Silver Tide ability. Every encounter, when reduced below 75, 50, and 25% in endurance, moon godlike generate waves of healing moonlight that restore endurance to them and their allies. The fire godlike have the bodies of fire godlike often resemble hot metal, burnt wood, or stone with harmless flames that erupt from the cracks in their skin. Fire godlike are objects of both reverence and fear in the Deadfire archipelago. Many locals believe that they have power to awaken volcanoes, or that killing one would cause a volcano to awaken. And the Dyrwood fire godlikes are often seen as a sign of blessings of Magran, goddess of war and fire. Oh, and you can hover and, of course, get even more information off everything. They are battle forged. When reduced below 50% endurance, they glow like metal in the forge, gaining damage reduction and doing a small amount of fire damage to any creature who hits them in melee. Last but not least, and possibly a good pick for Ronstock, I like fire and death so far. Death godlike are most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside, hiding their features. Death godlikes are commonly killed at birth because many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom. Death's Usher. When death godlike attack an enemy with 25% or less endurance, their damage is increased. I think this is a pretty obvious pick for Ronstock. We could even do a fire godlike barbarian for Lug Lug, or a death barbarian. I don't know. Again, up to you guys. Then you pick the body type. So we'd probably go elf and then wizard. And I think this is what I would initially pick without any kind of outside interference or outside comments. This would probably be my Ronstock character. What do you guys think? I'm not going to get into all the classes yet. We may go over them in the next video. But now it's time to vote. You can vote Lug Lug, who I think is pretty obvious will make a barbarian, or you can vote Ronstock, who's pretty obvious will make a wizard, or you can vote new character. And then we will come and we will and I will create a new character who will probably not likely become as infamous as these other two, but nevertheless we'll have a damn good time. So that's it for this video, folks. Something I meant to say in the intro is, yes, I know I'm currently running Lands of Lore 3. However, there are many of you that have voiced that Landslore 3 is not your style of GameHorder game. And I have been known in the past to run modern games along with my legacy games. So I've decided to do that here. So we'll be switching back and forth between Landslore 3 and Pillars of Eternity to try to satiate all the Horde. That's a fancy way of saying feed all the Hordelings. So I'll probably end up doing, you know, a couple vids of Lands of Lore, a couple vids of Pillars of Eternity, and just swapping back and forth, trying to at least get something out for both games per week. Now, as an addendum to that, I have more time on my hands than I did over the past couple months because fiance is now working full-time at the clinic. My mornings are back open to playtime, things like that. So don't feel like these are going to seep out slowly. In fact, we should be seeing at least a couple vids from each game per week. Lens of Lore obviously is not going to last as long. It's a 15-hour RPG, whereas this is a 50, 60-hour RPG. And that, from what I hear, that's just main and side quests. That's not any of the DLC or extra stuff. So yeah. Also, shout out to Mr. Satan. I know this is one of his favorite games of all time, especially in the modern era. I know he's looking forward to this. So this one's for you, Mr. Satan, and for the wifey. I'm pretty sure these two are collectively have played this game more than many of us out there. So I know that we're going to see plenty of comments from that side of the world. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned for the official first video of Pillars of Eternity. That's after you all vote. We're going to let this run a few days. And I might get something up on Friday. I have some unepic I need to finish for my Patreon subscribers. So I need to focus on that as well. Luckily, we're getting to the end of that one. Anyways, take care. Hopefully you all are as excited as I am for this. And we'll see you soon.